Papa and Mama, advise your pikin today to avoid had I known tomorrow.
Mama and Papa, may una start early in the life of your child to teach them, to tell them which way to go, and by the time it don't they grow and develop in character, you don't go quickly come out from that way of life which you start early to show them that pikin when they say and do anything they like, and you say leave them, na small pikin, and you don't do anything. When you grow with that bad character, now the time your eye go clear, even self, which kind of friends are pikin they follow? Shine your eye, yo. My hand no dey inside you. Waiting your pikin they watch for television or radio, waiting the browse for internet. See bad tattoo for body, sagging, sexual immorality, and criminal behavior. Now all that kind thing full in body, and you still don't want to do anything. The day the trouble go bust, it must affect you bad. So therefore, Mama and Papa, may una teach and direct to our child well today to avoid had I known tomorrow. I don't tell you now. Pcrc, Imo State Command, then bring on this message. So,
all right, you are welcome to the program PCRCR. My name is Christian Mokocha, and I'm going to play host today, and of course, maybe for a very long time. I have in the studio with me here Chima Chukwunyere. Chima Chukwunyere is a senior member of a Pcrc and Chief Servant Nigerian Hoteliers Association Imo State Chapter. Chima Chukwunyere, you're welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much, sir. And how are you today?
Well, I'm okay. I remember the last time I had, the last conversation we had was on a hotel business, and then the kind of problems we were facing there. And all that. I don't know whether these problems are they still persisting. And of course, I know you talked about this backyard judgments, even coming from the courts. So is this thing still persisting?
It's still there.
It has so?
It's still there, yes.
Over the years now?
It's still there. It is yet to be addressed. But we are believing God that God will intervene. It's still there, and the thing has actually worked against the industry. That's why the industry, instead of improving, instead of increasing, a lot of people have opted, as I talk to you now, to either lease or to outright sell their hotels and then rush to Asaba to go and invest, because that's where the happening is. The government has made there is a conducive atmosphere for the industry. The government is out to support the industry. So people want to sell, they want to give up, and then unless something happens, I tell you, the country is the industry will end up collapsing.
So are you still saying that in the past, that was a program I used to host you as a guest then, that was the tourism round table we were doing that time. And I know you told me that there is a RNG court judgment. Are you saying that kind of
what
thing?
What I mean by RNG court judgment is a situation where a revenue, I call them revenue staffs. They call themselves consultants.
Yeah.
A situation where he will charge you, let's say Zanders FM is in court. No so much. They are not aware. Only for them to go and get judgment, conceal it until the period given to you, the appeal would have elapsed, and then one morning they will come with talks, they will come with stuff, and they seal up your hotels, and they give you the worst embarrassment of your life. That's exactly what I mean by backyard judgment.
Okay, well, wonderful people, and of course, good listeners out there. Well, the program is not about the hotel; it's about the Pcrc, and today we are going to have critical look at some very important issues that have to do with the security situation in the country. Let me start with your anniversary. Is there? I am told that Pcrc is like trying to organize something like an anniversary. So how did it start? How did it all start?
Well, the anniversary, the 39th anniversary of Pcrc took place in Abuja on the 9th of this month, and it was a very huge event. Imo State chapter of Pcrc celebrated our 30th anniversary of Pcrc for the first time in the history of this country. That was 30 years ago at Mayfair, and we invited some of the national officers. We invited a lot of people that came, and they gave a talk, a lecture. It was widely celebrated, and I believe that ever since then the national now decided to borrow from us, because no matter how you look at it, you must say Pcrc is the best setter. In everything, we're the best. We're the best setter. It's not all about making noise on the social media. We have evidence of what we have done, and it's on record, and that is why I still have the Gold Star Award as the best performing chairman of Pcrc in the country. It doesn't matter what you're seeing on the social media, but that is it. So Pcrc is there, and the most important thing is that the Pcrc must not forget the fact that it is a catalyst. You cannot be talking about Pcrc in any state or in Nigeria when rich men are hiding under the police and are dealing unkindly with the poor. If Pcrc is not able to intervene for that poor at that point in time, then for him, Pcrc is like salt that loses taste and becomes worthless. So Pcrc has a vision, and anybody that is in Pcrc that doesn't know the vision, then you cannot succeed. We are succeeding here because we are rigidly abiding by the visions of Pcrc, and that is it. I can tell you anytime that we know our onions. In terms of ADC, there are cases where I've told the police, say, listen, this case got nothing to do with the police. You must allow us, because one advantage, or some advantages of alternative dispute resolution is that when you reconcile matters under ADR, no winner, no loser, and you reconcile them in such a manner that both parties can eat from the same plate even when there is no light in the night, without fear of it's going to poison me. That's what it is. But when you take minor cases to police, of course, you know the process. I write petition against you, I go to the police. Once you come, they call you a suspect. You may not be the suspect, but for the fact that you are going to report it first, makes you a suspect. Yeah. You'll be locked, you'll be bailed. And then when you go through the bailiff formalities, you come out in pens. What do? You must either go to zone, you must either go to Abuja to ensure that you inflict pens.
So revenge.
Yeah, revenge. And most times I've seen cases that ended up in shrines and people died. And that's why it is important that not all cases must go to the police.
All right, we will take a break here now, and then by the time we'll come back, Chima Chukunya will give us some security tips.
Papa and Mama, advise your pikin today to avoid hadai no tomorrow.
Mama and Papa, may una start early in the life of your child to teach them, to tell them which way to go, and by the time you don't grow and develop in character, you don't go quickly come out from that way of life which you start early to show them that pikin when they say and do anything they like, and you say leave them, na small pikin, and you don't do anything. When you grow with that bad character, now the time your eye go clear. Even self, which kind of friends are pikin they follow? Shine your eye, yo. My hand no dey inside you. Waiting your pikin they watch for television or radio, waiting the browse for internet. See bad tattoo for body, sagging, sexual immorality, and criminal behavior. Now all that kind thing full in body, and you still don't want to do anything. Hey, the day the trouble go bust, it must affect you bad. So therefore, Mama and Papa, may una teach and direct to our child well today to avoid hadai known tomorrow. I don't tell you now. Pcrc, Imo State Command, then bring on this message. So,
yes, you are welcome back to the program Pcrc, and of course, the program is coming to you from Zanda's Television and of course Zanda's Radio. That's FM 105.7. Or it is for you now to just give us maybe security tips, things that may have happened within a few days from now, because of course every day you keep hearing stories of gory stories of.
Let me talk about a very sensitive issue in Igbo land.
Okay.
There are many gods. People worship all sorts of gods. Communities have their beliefs, and the God they submit to. But I'm a Christian. I believe the God Almighty, the highest. So I'm not a traditionalist. Now, what I want to say this morning is, if you are a traditional person and you believe in that tradition, please, I'm begging you to abide by the rules of that tradition. What do I mean by this? I know you may not be aware, or maybe you know, there is a community in Imo State. One, anything about traditional leadership, you don't content for it. You don't. There's a way they write a list of the people they want and they present to either their God, and their God will choose. And what that happens, you don't no argument. The argument means you are challenging the gods, and you go in for it. We have seen it happen. And in that very community, you cannot shed the blood of a member of that community. Even one, they say Yamatana, you cannot. If you dare, you kill somebody from that community, the gods will kill you the same manner. There was a situation of somebody that went and killed a woman, and they stripped the woman naked. By the time the gods came, the person who planned and supervised it was also killed and stripped naked on the highway.
It happened in Imo.
It happened in Imo. I'm not telling you. I'm not talking about.
So where can the people say that? Can you be specific so that people will have?
That's the story for another. But I know what I'm talking about. People, if anybody from that community is listening to me, I mean they know what I'm talking about. So all I'm trying to say is that if you know that you can no longer abide, you can quit and go into a higher covenant. But if you have a covenant, okay, let me tell you this. My sister-in-law, who had lived all her life in the US, came back to bury the senior brother. Okay, no, they came back to bury the father. And when she came back, she said she wanted to kill a cow. And they said you cannot do that unless you have to go back to kill for that. There are authority that there are principles. You don't just kill for your brother. Their father has not killed for his own father, their grandfather. But the woman, you know, Americans say, what the hell are you talking about? There was cash. Children are all doing well. And then she went ahead and
on her own
killed the cow. People ate, and a few days later she started coughing. From coughing, by the time they called me and I rushed, this man was already in coma. Put her in the hospital, at the local hospital, brought doctors, all of them, to assist. She never came out of it. And the villagers were telling me that, you don't worry, that she has things to sort out with the traditions. But what actually killed the woman? Well, as an American, she'll tell you, I don't believe what I'm talking about. But whether you believe or not, if you don't have what it takes to resist, please don't go into it. So all I'm saying this morning, many have died for not recognizing the fact that these gods, the devil, God did not take away the power from the devil. The devil is still operating. But only those that are in Christ that can proudly and boldly say, I want to resist the devil. There's nothing you can do because you have a higher covenant. So if you are part of this system, when somebody dies, have you ever seen the community people fighting because of a piece of meat? They are prepared to kill you.
Even kola nut.
Kola nut. A piece of meat. What is in it? So if you are part of it, you abide by the rules rigidly. Otherwise, the day you will go in, your children may go in. There is a story I will not, in our own compound, that I will not say now. Maybe for another day, what transpired, just because children were not aware of what their parents was involved in yearly. Then when their mother died, people said, if you bury without doing this things, all of you will just go. And then it's a simple fact. So please, let's be careful. And it will not be out of place that if you believe in certain things, let your children know. So that they willingly, either they will accept or say capital no to it.
Okay, well, having taken that, we will just put up a call now to a retired AIG. We'll put up a call to him now, and so that they can give us an idea of what police used to be in his own time and what is really going on now. So as we do that, let's also, as we do that, then maybe you can still, if they still have any other security tips, because a lot have been happening in this country, then if you still have other things going on, you can still tell us.
I will continue to shout it that in this city something happened and a lot of young men all over got missing. They were arrested and nobody could give account of them. And after a while, there was a radio announcement that if a person is missing, go to the mortuary. And the people went to FMC mortuary and had shock of their lives. They saw that their beloved children, innocent children, have been executed. And it was even not easy for them even to claim the remains or the corpses. Now, that takes me to this killing without going through the judiciary. I don't know, up till now, nobody has told us why those young men were arrested.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, I went on to the Assistant Inspector General of Police, retired, Dr. Charles Ogomwo.
Yes.
All right, okay. My name is Christian Wokocha, and I have in the studio with me here Chima Chukwunyere. We are calling you from Zanders FM and television. We want you to just assist us and tell us what police used to be in your own time and the difference now. But that is not without telling us why you think the police officers are facing all manner of killings now. You know, the youths or the restive youths are killing the police, giving police very bad fight. Now, and somebody want to find out, could it be that some of the issues raised during the SARS protest, have not been addressed? Is police really exceeding their bounds, leading to some of the things we are meeting today?
Yeah, good morning. The issue, sometimes you cannot isolate police in the governance of when you have issues like poverty, hunger, unemployment, and issues in governance prevail, and the people see the police as the agent of government, and they feel that whatever they perpetrate on police is directly a retaliation to government. But that's not the issue, and that's why police has been preaching police is your friend. In those my good old days, actually people see police as their friend, and they report cases to police to ameliorate any of the situations you find yourself in. But right now, people feel that attacking police is a way of changing governance. It's a thing of changing government. Whereas we are in a democracy, and the mandate given to each government is 4 years. And that's why your vote is very, very important. That's what you use to change any government of your choice, voting people of your choice. So killing police is not just the answer, because some of those policemen are your relations, are husbands, are wives to some of your relations. It doesn't solve your problem. In as much as one government to institute good governance, make governance of the people, people-oriented government, from bottom to top. That's what we are advocating.
Okay, sir.
There should be a stop to that.
Okay, sir. Do you think that actually, you said that killing the police is not an option, actually. Well, it's a very bad thing to kill, not necessarily the policeman. But do you think that police officers have played in the hands of the people, and particularly in the hands of some of these criminals that are perpetrating this act?
Not quite. You can see that situations have changed. There are issues of terrorism, there are issues of banditry, and different crimes have come up, which is not of the old. The ICT crime, all those issues right now. But before, it is a question of cheating, stealing that police used to contend with. But now there are massive issue of terrorism. Sometimes you confuse it with insurgency, and police are bound to contend with all of them. So these are new crime factors that are set up, and police are contending with them. And most of those criminals, if I may use that language, the police are blocking them in their nefarious activities, and therefore they vent their anger on the police, which is not supposed to be so.
Okay,
so this should be picked.
Okay, now, have you noticed some cases or a situation where police have overstepped their bounds by way of dehumanizing, Nigerians, their fellow citizens, making them feel, inferior to citizens? As citizens of this country. Don't you think that the way police are treating the people, have made them to feel, oh, police is not my friend anymore? Because they say police is your friend, but to some people, police is no longer a friend.
It's the issue of trust deficit.
Is that the issue of what?
Political issue of trust deficit.
Okay.
Between the people, and the governors, and it impacts negatively on policing.
All right.
Because the police is the arm of government that maintains peace. That arrest criminals and prosecute offenders. And therefore this brings them into competition, the people being governed, and they see police as their enemy. Which is not supposed to be so. Police is bound to maintain peace, and that is exactly what police tries to do. When they want to reconcile you with your neighbor, and then they come in between you and your neighbor, and you feel that police has taken sides. Whereas police is not part of that problem between you and your neighbor. Okay,
maybe because of time. Maybe because of time. Let's really have a look at this before our time is up here. Then there is this attitude, police officers now, their attitude, and the people are complaining of, and then it has to do with if a policeman is dehumanizing anybody, or maybe trying to do things that are not really required of the law, and then you said you are going to report to IG, or telling them that, look, this is instruction coming from IG, and a police officer will tell you, go and call the IG, go and call him, I don't care. So was it the case when you were in the police?
What happened is that every policeman, no matter where you are, have a statutory role to perform the police function. And so people are really, I was trying to tell them it's anywhere.
Oh, hello, are you still there? Hello?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, all right, yes. I said, was it the case when you were in the police? A situation where a police officer will tell you, go and call the IG, go and call the commissioner. And even when you caught him doing the wrong thing, he is not ready to accept that he is doing the wrong thing. He said, go and call the IG.
No, you see, it's a trust. And again, because of the threat police people are subjected to. You see somebody on a car bike with them, and he now shoots a policeman and runs away. Police stops apprehensive. But police trying to do their duty. The people not intended, it's an act of resisting the police. And say, I'm going to IG, I'm going to DIG. Whereas policeman, no matter where you find a policeman, he has a statutory duty to maintain peace, to arrest and to detain. Okay, in as much as most of the arrests goes on warrant or otherwise. But the thing is that it's that trust issue. I think.
Okay, people listening to us now or viewing may see you as somebody who is really shielding the police. Do you think that's the case? Because when somebody wants to report to the senior officer and he said, go and call the police, is it not an arrogant way of responding to certain issues? Okay, it appears the line is too bad, so maybe we'll take it. Hello, are you still there? Okay, we'll take it from there. Well, our brother and of course friend, the person, the very senior person of the Pcrc. You can see what the AIG, the little interaction we had with him. You can see the way he sounds, and then what's your take from all this?
Well, the truth of the matter is that the Nigerian police, if we must stand on the altar or platform of righteousness or truth, the police, Nigerian police force, as far as I'm concerned, they have not learned, or they did not learn a lot from the NSAS protests. Because if they did, things would have improved. I can't be here preaching the gospel that police is your friend while you are being very, very unfriendly to the people.
Yeah.
And you expect them not to react. The one that pains my heart is in a situation where some people will come and bomb police station or attack the police or kill the police, and people around, instead of mourning, instead of getting worried, are jubilating. That tells you that obviously that something must be wrong with the people in that particular place. And I remember that while some men were going around burning police stations, there were places they went and the villagers resisted them. Why? They said, no, these people are here to protect us, they are very friendly, we like their modus, we like the way they operate. But in other places, so this is speak volume. And I've always said that the authorities must go back.
Okay, finally, because of time too, and because we'll soon open the phone lines now for members of the public, our listeners and viewers, for them to begin to react to some of the issues raised in the studio here. Recently, we got the information that Chioma Ajunwa, of course, the Olympic gold, the lady that won Olympic medal in 1996. So as of 1996, she was an inspector, and a few days ago, just about 3 days ago, so we are told that she has been promoted to the rank of Deputy Commissioner of Police. So for me, when I got the news, it wasn't like I wasn't excited, because I was looking at from 1996 till now. Where should have a police inspector there? Should be by now. So that's exactly some of the issues I wanted to raise with the AIG, but because the lines were not really friendly. So for you, what do you think?
It's a very funny question. Funny in the sense that you know that obviously the people that enlisted with Chioma by now would have retired as either commissioner or AIG. But there is something they call quota system in Nigeria, which I believe is a wrong approach. Now, somebody from this area, they say you have to wait. Everybody, every state, every whatever, they have their own quota. Now, that's why somebody from here may be the best, and then your colleagues may be 2 or 3 ranks ahead of you. But in actual fact, if we really want to get it right and move something forward, at every given time there should be examinations. When you pass, you are promoted. That's why you see some people.
It doesn't matter where you come from.
It doesn't matter where you come from. But because I've always said it, that this country, we consider tribe so much, we consider religion. That is why things are not moving forward. That is why you see somebody who is not educated being a boss to someone that had doctorate degree in the same field. It doesn't work out well. So Choma, well, congratulations for the DC. But by now, me and you know this question. You know the answer to the question that Choma ought to have been either Commissioner of Police or AIG, based on where the people that enlisted with her are presently. So, but like we said, the issue of quota system should be done away with if this country must move forward.
Okay, we open our phone lines now, and then of course to hear from our callers, listeners, and of course viewers, so that we get their own view, thoughts on some of the issues we have raised. And even if you are also going to call now, all right. Okay, so even if you are going to call in, tell us if there are some security issues in the area where you find yourself within 24 hours from now and all that. If the people of the area are being threatened, if there are serious security issues, threats in your area, you can also call in and tell us what the situation is in your area. Yeah, beyond what, okay, yes, beyond, okay, let's give you this, of course, our call numbers, 081-606-36187. I take the number again, 081-606-36187. Yeah, so when the AIG spoke, he spoke like somebody who is shielding the police, because he asked him whether his police, when somebody is telling you go and call IG, is it not just being arrogant, not interested in any order given by IG? His interest is to see how to perpetrate his act. You look at it even in some of the video clips we get in some areas where you see the police dehumanizing some students. If you talk to them, they say, go and call IG. What can you make out of this?
They have said that to me severally.
You?
Yes, I'll tell him, if you don't allow these people to go, if you don't do the right thing, if you don't stop this, I'll call the CP. And they quickly say, call the IG. Now, the implication is that he doesn't have respect even for the Commissioner of Police. But most times they say it because they think you do not have the connection. They think you may not be able to call. But for me, when you ask me to call the IG, because of my maturity, I will first of all demand to see the team leader. Because when an issue comes up, the team leader will tell you, oh, but sir, you should have drawn my attention to this. Now, if the team leader also is following the same route, what can you do? Call whoever you want to call. Then I will now put a call to the CP to say, there's an incident here, and I threatened to call you, and they said, I should call you, I should call the IG. We say, where? And it takes him less than 30 minutes to send a squad. They will come and pick them. And when we get to his office, it is not my word against his own. And of course, most times I got some of these controversial issues, and they discipline them. But one other thing I want to say that when the man says call, he may not actually be serious by telling you to call. He thinks he can threaten you by call. Maybe you don't have the number. But before now, when who was there, the IG, there was this numbers they gave from any place in the country. Once you call that number, anytime somebody must pick one palm ring, they will pick, and you tell them where you are. Once you tell them what the problem is, they will quickly get in touch with the Commissioner of Police. Commissioner of Police will get in touch with the area commander of that area. The area commander will get in touch with the DPO. They will quickly pick you and bring you. And if you don't take time, you are going to Abuja. I don't know what has happened to those facilities. They're no longer there. That's why we are seeing no matter of this, going on in the street. And I think the police, more especially the ones on the road, should be monitored closely, because they are part of the people dragging the name of the police to the world. And let me say this, and I continue to say it. There is no basis, there is nowhere, no law, no constitution that allows a policeman to detain you based on mere allegation that I've written a petition that Christian Mukocha is threatening my life. Does not warrant anybody to lock you for days. What is the offense? The police authorities, the IGP in Abuja told us that the rule is, once you write a petition that petition should be investigated to determine the authenticity. The way you look at the way you don't know whether you should invite Okocha or whether you should be arrested or whether you should just trash it. When Degree was there, Degree said, "Don't worry. You said they want to kill you. Give me the name, give me the number, give me everywhere. If anything happens to you, hold him responsible." And throughout his stay here, he never approved any. That was why they called him bad names. Some people wanted him to die tomorrow because he was not, dancing to their tune. So the issue of every little thing you complain, nobody will know whether it is true or not. You are locked. You are made to go through what they call very formalities. See, when this thing continues, the hatred for the police will be so much. The gap between the Nigerians and the police will continue to widen and widen and widen. That is what a lot of more. What most times when you see people laughing, they are not supposed to laugh, be happy that something wrong has happened to a policeman, or it's just because it's an accumulated grievances. And it ought not to be, and that is why Pcrc is on Saturdays to let the police people please do your work. You are paid to serve, to protect the people. Anything short of that will make the people to hate you. And for me, I have what it takes in any given place to spend time in lecturing our men. Please let their conscience put a human face. There are fine police officers. There are many fine police officers. You can't fault them. You can't fault them. But I also know that from time to time, policemen, almost on a monthly basis, they do training, they do workshop, they train their men. But one thing is for you to tell them, don't do this, they go outside, they do another thing. And the same, we have a mechanism to monitor the activities of police, people of fuel and IPOs. These things can never come to an end. You can't stop it, you can't control it.
Okay, now before we go to monitor, let's also have a repeat of the numbers we have given to callers. It's 081-606-36187. I take the number again, 081-606-36187. So in case you are just tuning in, the program is Pcrc. It's coming to you from Zanda's television and of course radio. Now what has happened to, I'm sure you will be familiar, what has happened to this program, monitoring the monitor? In the past there used to be vehicle, there used to be officers monitoring the activities of police officers on the road. Can you just give us an idea, because you are very close to them, and then we want to have an idea what has really happened to that?
Well, I don't have that record, but I know that they have the IGP's monitoring unit coming from Abuja. And the most unfortunate part of it is that the moment they arrive, all the people that are supposed to monitor are aware that they're in town. And that's why most times, how do you know that they're in town? You see people see police officers on the road do the right thing. Once you see them do the right thing, they stop you, they smile, they tell you, oh, goodbye, bye-bye, have a safe trip, that kind of thing. That means they know that
the monitoring officers are in town.
And I don't know how they get to know that they're in town, and the moment they go. But they have the IGP monitoring, they have the CP's monitoring unit. So it should be a continuous practice, continuous exercise. Like I said, but because the boys know that they're not being monitored, that's why they behave the way they behave. Me, yeah.
Okay, let's take this call now. Hello? Hello, good morning. You're welcome to the program Pcrc.
Yeah, good morning and happy weekend.
Oh, good morning.
Yeah, this is Ron.
Okay, Brother Nandi, you're welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you. Thank the chairman who has been giving us morale to know our rights, and at the same time want us to resist some bad things. Then my worry is that despite the rights of the Pcrc and all his promises, the police we see in these super many roads haven't shown that there is more guys, they have more than guys there. many a times from Chinedu down to Oji. We do see these people with ordinary black and black. You won't see any logo of police. You will not see police vehicle. You only see either those Cosimo or they carry any vehicle. And their duty is just to lay force on the youth, starting their phone, maltreating them, keeping them on the binding stay on for one particular place. And even though when you want to drop, they say police is here. So even though it's a killer, I think you know what he did, know where you are going. They will restrict everyone, not even to near. Even when you know someone, I want to ask, is it the best way to be our friend, or is there another thing we can do? Because I have seen Pcrc chairman and his team trying to make sure how we the youth behave and how police can embrace us. Even when we have done things that are maybe against the law, but at least we have privilege in a democratic country to hear us or respect our people, what we have done before we can be able to kill our jail. I want to ask, what is Pcrc doing? And not really for people to talk to them or even knowing where they are coming from. That is my question. Thank you, God bless you.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, well, you see, Brother Namdi, if you look at, summary of all he has said is that I think people of his area are worried about policemen who on plain clothes, using perhaps Bosimo, traveling around the area, perhaps doing one or two things, searching people's phones. Of course, he talked about it and all that. So, what can you make out of this? Because I remember that there was a time this warning, stand warning given to police officers, and then they single out the police officers that cannot be in uniform. That every other police officer must be on uniform if you must be on the road, if you must be on duty. So, what's really going on?
Let me say this. Frankly speaking, any policeman that cannot be identified should not be found talking to a Nigerian. What do I mean by this? Yes, something happened in time past, and they said, okay, it's possible. Let's try and send some policemen in mufti, so that they can maybe armed robbers try to rob them. They will now deal with them. But you can see that
that's a particular department
that have been abused.
A particular department.
The idea of everybody, some people wearing black, they wear, they have beards, they wear earring, some use a shower curtain, so everything to cover their heads. When you look at them, it's difficult for you even to do that. The policemen, they say that when you see the AK-47, you see the magazine painted with the police color, which Arabs can do. But I'm standing here this morning to say that time should be over. Any policeman without a name tag, any vehicle that cannot be identified as a police vehicle should not be used. Because now they're talking something from Ubomini. How do we identify the policeman? They're mufti, there's no name tag.
There's no police vehicle.
There's no police vehicle. So how do you identify them? That now that criminals can go and rent guns and all manner of things from security agents and use it to go for operations. I think the Nigerian Police Authority should have a review to know how profitable has this thing be. Is it profitable to you and not profitable to Nigerians? It should be addressed. And for crying out loud, the authorities have warned that nobody has the right to check your handset. If you're under surveillance, they arrest me, take me to the station, then you can now interrogate me. But the idea of going through handset, you take people to transfer money to you, they say some people carry POS and all manner of things. I want to say, and I've been saying it, let the sky fall. Once this thing happens, let one or two people brave it. Go and hide in the bush and get their picture. Once you're able to get that, they are finished. And you know that the policy of the Nigerian police is that once a video, once your video goes viral, once the authorities see it, you must go to Abuja and you're answerable. And you can't come out of it. The one that was shouting, you can't call the IG, I must go to the handset, who's the IG? Was it not publicly demoted from inspector to sergeant? And I can tell you, until the end of his career, he will not be promoted again. And then he was just saying that thing. I mean, I know only God knows what influenced him to have said that. So it's not allowed. So these boys come here, they think they can do this and get away with it. But it's only when they are reported, you see them in the room, you'll be wondering if this is the same man who was shouting and beating you. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen.
Okay. So, yeah, members of the public are wondering, what is the difference between a policeman standing on the road with gun, searching people's phone, compelling them to go to ATM to withdraw money, collecting whatever thing they have? What's the difference between that and armed robbery?
You are nothing but a criminal. The authority will tell you that you are nothing but a criminal.
But now you look at the police officers. Okay, the police officers and of course the police authorities, they don't charge them as armed robbers, because what they have done by the definition of the law that had to do with armed robbery, what they have done is armed robbery case, using arms to stop citizens, search them, collect money from them. So why is it you are an insider? So what is really going on there?
I agree with you. Even the people who use gun to snatch ballot
boxes, they also armed robbers.
I mean, no control for you.
Okay, on this note, I want you also to give us your parting words, because I think time is no longer very friendly. Just give us your parting words.
Mr. Mukata, believe it or leave it.
Yes.
The police is our friend. Yes. No matter what you see, let me tell you, we can't do without them. What they do, and the civil defense cannot do it. That they cannot do it for you. So no matter what, but we are praying that God will touch the leadership of this country to begin to get it right. Do you know why I don't bother so much about what is going on in the police? It's all about leadership. If the number one citizen of the country is doing the right thing, Mokocha, this is my head. Every instruction, every life, every activity flow from my physical head to my hands.
That reminds me, you talked about the number one. When Buhari was sworn in office as president, 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month within the time he was sworn in, you won't see any army or any police collecting anything from anybody, because they believe that this man is coming from the era of man o' war, from the era of don't steal, don't they? But all of a sudden, police opened up and started doing their thing their own way.
When they discovered that
the leader,
they discovered that not much was coming out of the man
from the leader.
Yes, now, and then they went back to their usual business. But when life begin to flow from your physical head, it will affect your hand, the legs, other organs. So let God give us a leader. Once a leader comes, whether it's with police, whether it's with customer, whether everybody will try to do the right thing, and Nigerians themselves will do the right thing, then we can build a nation of our own that we're proud of, and the world will respect us. Remember what I said last week? That Nigerians are saying Egyptians did not respect Nigerian citizens. Do we respect our citizens when we hit them like animals publicly? Do we respect? What's anybody respect our citizens?
Okay, on that note, Nigerians, please respect your fellow Nigerians. Nigerians, be very law-abiding. The police officers, the military officers, begin to respect the position of the law. Treat your fellow Nigerians as real citizens of this country. On this note, Chima Chukwunyere, and a very senior member of Pcrc and chief servant of Nigerian Hoteliers Association Imo State Chapter. Good to have you on this show, Pcrc.
Thank you very much. I hope by the grace of God we'll be here again live. And don't forget, before we go, a big thanks to one of our most cherished patrons, Chief Kennedy Zanders. And what he has been doing for years. There are over 10 or 15 radio stations in Imo. I think half of them should be able to give us the support so that we can continue to inform the public.
All right, we call it a day here on the program Pcrc Hour. My name is Christian Mokocha.
Papa and Mama, advise your pikin today to avoid had I no tomorrow.
Mama and Papa, papa, may una start early in the life of your child to teach am, dey tell am which way to go, and by the time e don dey grow and develop in character, e no go quick comot from that way of life wey you start early to show am. That pikin when they say and do anything e like and you say leave am, na small pikin and you no do anything. When e grow with that bad character, na the time your eye go clear. Even sef, which kind friends your pikin dey follow? Shine your eye o, my hand no dey inside you. Wetin your pikin dey watch for television or radio, wetin dey browse for internet, see bad tattoo for body, sagging, sexual immorality and criminal behavior, na all that kind thing full in body and you still no wan talk anything. The day the trouble go burst, e must affect you bad. So therefore, mama and papa, may una teach and direct una child well today to avoid had I known tomorrow. I don tell una o, Pcrc, Imo State Command, na bring una this message so.